Yes, lovely people. It is myself, Eagle-Eyed Nate, and we've got Jordan for the Norwich City versus Crystal Palace match preview. And we're briefly going to touch on our last Premier League game, which was, of course, Liverpool at home. And then we're going to do a little bit of a press shout as well for the last couple of weeks, where our clubs have been making the headlines for, in 3 counts, the right reasons, and in 1 count, the wrong reasons. And if you had access to the group chat, you would have seen me go on a little bit of a mini rant earlier on, because I'm just beyond fuming about this one little thing that I think has really soured the last couple of weeks for our football club. But before we get into that, make sure you smash a like on the video. And we begin with our next game, which is away tomorrow night at Carrow Road. Dean Smith's Norwich City meet us at Carrow Road. The Canaries versus the Eagles. JC, if we were talking, let's say 3 weeks ago, we're talking we're going to smack them. But their form has picked up massively since our 3-0 win against them at Selhurst Park. And despite what looks to be some fairly decent form from us, our league form's kind of dipped off the cliff end a bit, seeing as, we've only picked up, 1 point from our last 3 league matches, if I'm correct?
I'm not sure about that exactly, but I can check that one.
From what I recall, it's West Ham, Seaweed, and Liverpool would be our last 3 league games.
Yeah, let's go here. We have Liverpool, Seaweed, West Ham, yeah. But you don't expect to beat Liverpool.
No, that's true.
A draw against Seaweed with how we played was actually quite a fair result.
Yeah.
And a loss to West Ham, it was hard to take, but that's what happens when they get when Lanzini scores a wonder goal and they have Antonio up front. So
yeah,
I'm not really too upset with those 3 games because one of them is you write it off straight away, and the other 2 you'd be happy with getting a draw against them, but you wouldn't be really, really, really upset if you lost. But
one of them we wouldn't be too upset. Yeah. The other one,
I'm talking about West Ham.
Yeah, no, I got that feeling, but just be careful how you word things.
Yeah. But I don't know, because Norwich have had 2 wins in the last 2, I think.
Yeah, Watford away 3-0.
Yeah, but we need to also remember that Watford are also diving off the cliff edge as well. So, is it that they're less shit than Watford, or they've actually picked up dramatically? It's something we need to think about, because Watford, that was before they even sacked Hodgson.
That's true. Well, sacked Ranieri. Have they sacked Hodgson already? Holy shit! He's gone.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Holy shit! Breaking news, people. Watford have sacked Roy Hodgson and have appointed Pete the Eagle. No, sorry, correction. Harry the Hornet. You heard it here first.
I thought that was so funny, because all them clips of Roy beefing the bee just came back to surface again.
When he sees him in the tunnel, fam.
that got me laughing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was funny.
Who's the wanker in the suit? Who's the wanker in the suit? Mate, I did Watford away. I think the year that he dived in front of Zaha, it was like,
yeah, I was there as well.
Was that Boxing Day?
Yes.
Boxing Day on the Sam, where we drew 1-1 goodbye penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bro, that was a dead trip out to Watford on Boxing Day. I hated that,
bro. Where did you get there? Did you go by... Did you have a long trip to the underground, or a long walk to
I had to take the bus from where I was staying to Waterloo, and then take the tube up to Watford, and walk the long way around from Watford Met Station, all through Watford Town Centre to the Vicarage Road, because there was no trains to Watford Junction. So I was like, mate, fuck getting a bus in Watford. I'll walk.
Still, even walking to Watford Junction is still a trek as well. So
yeah, but at least the trains at Watford Junction aren't as dead as the Metropolitan line, mate. But there's a reason why this shit isn't in London, bro. Like, you're close to London, but you ain't London. You understand? You need a London postcode to be regarded as London. But we're talking too much about Watford. Let's focus back more on the Canaries. Our last meeting with them resulted in a 3-0 win at Selhurst Park. And actually, our record at Carrow Road lately is fairly favourable. But as we know, the minute you get a bit of form against one opponent, you might get a little bit of complacency thinking, oh yeah, we normally turn off the Carrow Road. We don't normally lose there. And it's gone. South Park setting. But I personally don't think it's going to be as straightforward as the game at Selhurst Park, because that day we barely got out of first gear, and that was embarrassing for us. It was like, they're lucky we held, like, we had the clutch on, handbrake on, everything. We just kept the handbrake on the whole game. It was like, I think we're trying to spare their feelings, which is nice, but it's like, no, fuck that, pelt them.
Yeah.
Somebody was, we needed somebody to take a beating, because we were playing this great football, but we weren't taking. Nobody was taking a beating off us. I was thinking, this is the team that you take that take a beating from, and we still let them hold 3. It was like, okay, we got the win. We got a 3-0 and a clean sheet. That's cool. But I wanted more.
Yeah.
I really wanted more. Not to be greedy or selfish, because you know yourself, they'll probably be motivated to come back and get revenge, which they'll want now, because you remember they gave Billy Gilmore pelters from the away end, and then came up with that dead food. Let's pretend we scored a goal. Oh, I still have nightmares about that.
I think they did that 2 or 3 times. It was funny the first time, but after that, you're thinking, this is cringe FC now. What are you doing? But I do remember the last time we went there 2 years ago, we scraped a draw. An
Connor
equaliser
Wickham
in the last minute. It only happened because Zaha did a little bit of magic.
And VAR intervened.
And yeah, VAR intervened. It was millimeters onside, but if that form carries over, because we had the same sort of form in the Seaweed game, and let's hope that we don't have this kind of complacency that you was talking about, because if so, this is Crystal Palace. It wouldn't surprise me if they turn us over because we didn't get out of first gear, for example.
Yeah, I hear that, and that's why I'm not necessarily saying that we're going to smack. You've seen in my predictions, I didn't go for a 3-4-0. I said 2-0, 2-1. I think I said. I'm thinking we will concede, because between our goalkeeper and our midfield and defence, we're just not settled. For some bizarre reason, in February, we're not quite defensively sure of ourselves. And yes, we are missing the likes of Cheku Kuyate, and we've got MacArthur still to come back in the whole 9 yards. But you can't really look at what you don't have, when what you do have should be able to get the job done across 90 minutes of football. Granted, the FA Cup games are different, because one was a derby, the other one was against a League 2 opposition. But looking at this league fixture, we're thinking, right, our next 2 games, bare minimum 4 points is the only acceptable target. Anything less than 4 points, and it's a fuck up.
Yeah.
Which could prove to be a costly one, because we're looking at Norwich and Brentford, with all due respect to these 2 sides, and saying we need to beat these home and away. And we failed to do that against Brentford, where you're like, okay, it wasn't the greatest game. Neither side really went for it. But if there's ever a game you want to be winning, be it 1-0, be it 2-1, whatever, it's Brentford at home, because they're novices in the Premier League, with all due respect to Brentford. But with Norwich, we know what Norwich are going to do. They come up and they go down. That's what they do. That's their model. That's what's worked for them under Delia Smith. But I don't know, bro. This is one where, if we're on it, we could actually pepper them. But if we think we've got the game won before a ball is kicked, we could be exposed. And I'm not happy if that's the case, because we've seen this before. Remember Sunderland at home a few years ago? They was getting relegated, and they clapped us 4-0. Like, mate. Jermaine Defoe scores an absolute thunderburst. You're like, mate, come on. What is with people scoring worldies at Selhurst? What's that brother's name from Fulham? Kasami. Matt Phillips at QPR. It's like, do we just have Tony Yeboah for Leeds against Wimbledon? It's like, if they're just this score a worldie at Selhurst Park, regardless of whether it's Wimbledon or Palace playing there, man, come on, don't piss me off. But
yeah, let's hit a few comments.
Yeah,
big up Louis.
Yes, Lou.
Even in Mr. C. Yes, lads.
Big up Jay. Big up.
Front three of Zaha, Edouard, Elise.
I don't know about that, but we'll get into lineups in a bit.
3 top 8 teams, of which 2 are top 4. I don't know if I'm
Okay.
reading that. For me, I wouldn't mind if he start or if he doesn't. And big up Rob.
Yes, big up Rob every time. So Norwich, let's speak about some of their players because these are players we will have to keep an eye on. Milo Rashica, he has been one of their star players this season. Don't know the greatest deal about him, so don't ask me to pull out stats or what he's like or this or that. But he's very much what Todd Cantwell was for them the last time they was in the Prem. Only Cantwell, of course, has gone on loan to Bournemouth now, which I didn't think made sense. I'm like, that's kind of a weird move to make. I mean, I know he hasn't
exactly
exactly
forced his way out of the club. I think that's what it is.
Oh yeah. No, I see why they did it because like his head's gone. He doesn't want to be at Norwich anymore. He's thinking, I may not be world class or anything, but I can't be playing up and down every season with Norwich. That's no career move. That's just settling for being too good for the Championship but too shit for the Prem. And that's the model that Norwich's owners, I think Delia Smith and somebody else, have settled for. Which, if I was a Norwich fan, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what is the point? We should just hold Championship until we're built for the Premier League again. Because they've had that under Chris Hughton where the football wasn't pretty, but he had them solid. And then they got rid of him, brought in whole heap of like Paul Lambert and these men. It's like, you got rid of a fairly solid coach who, all right, played awful football, but you got results and stayed in the league to bring in a fraudulent attempt at Sir Alex Ferguson. Paul Lambert.
And they sacked bloody
Daniel Farke, yeah.
after they won their first game. You're thinking, come on, man.
I could have sworn they was Norwich fam. You know them ones. It was like, bruh, did Watford turn into two different clubs? Are they split, bruv?
They're both yellow, technically.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Disease spreads.
Watford, East Anglia, bruv.
Yeah, I think another player to watch out for is probably Sargent. He had a really good game a couple of weeks ago.
He scored a banger as well.
Yeah, he should have had a hat trick. And I think one player which I would love at Palace actually is probably Max Aarons.
Mate,
right back.
He would be my ideal right back replacement for Ward. And
also because big up Fergie, he got injured again in under 23s match.
Yeah. if any of you lot have been in our Palace group chat, you'll see what Steve had to say. And mate, man went in. That's what I'm gonna say.
100%. Oh, United just scored against Burnley.
It's only Burnley.
Yeah, bottom of the table, and the goal difference is increasing in the minus, obviously.
So if United are winning, to be honest, as long as they win, I don't really care what my prediction was. You get me?
Who else in Norwich's team? Because they've sacked off
Timu Pukki. They've got an Irish Adam Ida.
Yeah.
Tim Krul is their goalie. They've got Andrew Obama-Bamadelli, who's an Irish centre back. He's a big prospect over here. He's very highly regarded by Irish fans over here.
Does
not necessarily.
Jamal Lewis still play for them? He was.
He plays for Newcastle.
Okay.
He's at Newcastle now.
Because I know he was a decent left back as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was thinking if we didn't get Tyrick, I would have thought him to replace PVA. But now we've got Tyrick. I'm like, no, we're cool. Our academy's actually giving us a left back, and we saw what Teo did. It was like maybe another year or two.
Touch.
Do you know what I mean? Like, mate, had that happened, it would have been like, aye, lifetime contract. You understand? Just lifetime contract.
Rich, I was sitting next to Rich, and Rich was gassing. He's like, it's dropped, Teo.
Oh, mate. But the thing with Norwich is, as we said earlier, if you write them off and you think you're going to smack them, they could smack us. And you know, Palace love to upset the apple cart. When we expect to smack somebody, we get smacked. So I'm confident we'll win. Do not get me wrong, but I'm not necessarily putting my house on a Palace 5-0 or that. I'm like, I'll take a 2-1. I'm going to take the score first, and a poxy own goal from one of their players does me all fine. I don't care how they go in, as long as we take the 3 points and move to Brentford on the weekend. That's all I care about. Never mind who scores, what the score is. All I want is Palace taking 3 points, and we move on to the next fixture. But let us know, people, what do you think of the Norwich game coming up? Do you agree with any of the points we've made? Have we been talking ish, which, by the way, is coming back very soon? Myself and JC have to bring another one of that out very soon. But yeah, I don't know. Norwich is a tricky one because when you really look at them, you're like, they're that dead. We should beat them. But knowing Palace will F it up. So I don't know which way to back it. Part of me is saying back the thing and just be back the colours. But I'm like, yeah, but it's Palace, bro. If there's ever a time we're gonna muck it up.
James is getting a bit overgassed with the youth right now.
Yeah, let's not go Brandon Pierrick vibes just yet, people. Like I'm still a little bit traumatized by how gassed I got about him. Yeah, that brought me back down to earth with a bump.
Yeah, he did. He made a good pass against Norwich. Funny enough,
in this very fixture,
he made a good pass, and then he got shipped off to Kidderminster, and we never saw him again. Basically.
Well, yeah, he got banished to the shadow realm, and that was it.
Agree with you, Nate. Just want the points from this one. Don't care how we get them. Listen,
you know what I'm saying? That's all it is, really. Let's be honest. If we can play crap and win,
this is how we go about the league. We just want the points. You just don't care how it happens.
Yeah, let's be honest. If we play crap and win, nobody's gonna bitch. It's when we play well and lose, everybody's crying, going, "Oh, what?" It's like, see, now you're missing them Hodgson performances. Not all of Hodgson's tenure was bad. It was just losing games so dead wise. Do you know what I mean? Like when we were losing, it's like, okay, we hold corn to the big boys, cool. But when we're holding corn to teams below us, it's like, mate, we can't beat Fulham at home. Am I a joke to you?
James Buckingham
Klein is not it. He never was.
This is why we need. Well, since he's come back, he's had a couple decent games, but since he's come back, we've said this from the start. We need a right back to help Ward. And
this was pure sentiment though with Klein. This was all sentiment thing.
Yeah.
This was raw. Give him the homecoming because he's back now. We get him on a free. We didn't pay no money for him, so you know. And don't get me wrong, I love Natty Klein. I've got fond memories of him being at Hillsborough in 2010. Like that match will stay with me to the day I'm dead because I can't forget what happened that day, 2nd of May 2010. You can see him. He was one of the substitutes that day. And obviously he was there for the Old Trafford Man United Darren Ambrose League Cup game. But the Klein that we let go to Southampton is not the Klein that's come back. So yeah, James, I agree. Klein is not it, but we're not blessed with options at the moment. But the summer's coming soon.
Let's see. With what Ferguson's doing, listen, I think it's probably a topic for talking ish, but do you think, for just a quick answer, if I ask you this question, should we cut our losses already with Ferguson? Because we gave him a 3-year deal, and at the end of this year, he's got 1 year left of his deal, and he's only kicked the ball for 5 minutes against Spurs.
The optimist in me would say, let's see if he can come back from this. Because I'm always about giving players like him a chance. But the pragmatist in me is saying, if he's consistently getting injured, and yes, we didn't pay an exorbitant amount of money like we did for Connor Wickham, I'm thinking, for the best interest of his career, he needs to go drop down to Championship or League One level and build his way back up because I don't think the Premier is ready for him. I think he hit I think because he knew Prem clubs would come in for him because he was a hot prospect in the Championship. But obviously, we'd had success with, we were looking at Eze prior to, we were looking at Ferguson prior to looking at Eze. I think Ferguson was meant to be the first piece of the jigsaw that was going to be this new look Crystal Palace, but he's just become basically an English Johnny Parr or Johnny Williams who plays at right back or left back. But I like the kid. It's hard to want him to get rid of him because he's a likable young kid. It's not like he's Zeki Friars or Florian Marange or some of these dead names we've got are associated with the club. He's actually a really nice kid. So it's like, I want you to do well, but reality speaking, if you're too injury prone, it's no good to your career to just hold bench at Palace. Like, you're better than that.
Yeah, I agree. I've had a couple of conversations with him on through DMs and stuff, and he's very nice, and I can't knock him for who he is. But if you're speaking objectively, I'd probably agree with James here in the sense of I say give him a new contract, but you need to give him time in the Championship again to work his way back into the team because the Prem's ruthless, and if you're not ready for it, it can really kick you all the way down to League One.
Yeah, definitely. But we're quickly going to touch on the Liverpool game now, because we didn't do a Liverpool review, and you're lucky we didn't do one straight after the game because boy, emotions were running high. But now that the dust has settled firmly on that game, I want to say this: if we'd finished our dinner and it was any other goalkeeper but Alisson, we would have won that game.
Yes.
Because that second half, it was like we were a different team. However, take away the penalty decision because Kevin Friend, he should have backed himself. I'm disappointed in him as a referee. If you've given a goal kick for that, back your own decision. This is where people mistake VAR for being the referee has been told to overturn it. Craig Pawson, I think it was Craig Pawson, or was it John? It was Craig Pawson who was the VAR. I can understand if it's a case of Guaita is in no way near getting near Jota, but Guaita's body is all over the place and he's just clambered into Jota.
Yeah.
But for the life of me, I'm sat there thinking, if that's Elise hitting off Alisson, that penalty isn't given. I don't give a damn what excuse you throw at me.
Liverpool is real.
No, let's not go into Liverpool because let's be practical. If we get a VAR decision going in our favour in the next two games, people are going to say, well, it evened itself out. But, like I just said, if that's Michael Elise or even Odson Edouard, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Benteke, any of our attacking players, they bounce off Alisson. Alisson's made no attempt to go for the player. The ball's already gone, so it's not even a case of players going for the ball or goalkeepers going for the ball. They've just clambered into each other. Yes, you might get the odd idiot from the home stand, the main stand, the Arthur, clamouring for a penalty. But the majority of us would go, yeah, that ain't a pen in a million years.
Yeah.
I even had Liverpool fans text me as soon as it happened and they were saying, no, you've been mugged.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so...
Big up, Rich.
Yes, Richie Rich, how you doing, brother?
From the AFCON review.
Yeah, that's still going. I was like, right, I need to bounce.
Yeah, let Roland handle that for a bit. Now, we were just quickly recapping the Liverpool game, and I was saying, if that was Michael Elise in that end of the pitch with Alisson, the majority of sensible Palace fans, in the ground, emotions running high. It's 2-1 at the time. That could be 2-2. We're all clamoring for a penalty. But when you look at it slow down, you're thinking, nah, literally a coming together. It's literally a coming together. And neither Guaita nor Jota can get out of each other's way. Now, Jota's smart in that he's made enough of the contact.
Yeah.
But let's be truthful. If our players do that and it wins us a penalty, we're all saying, it ain't a pen. But fuck it. It could win us the game. And that's what Liverpool fans were saying. None of them were saying it, but some of them were saying it was a nailed-on pen. But let's be fair. The shoe's on the other foot. We're all taking a penalty from that all day long.
Oh, yeah.
So,
if it's offered to us, we'll take it. But it weren't a pen.
No, it wasn't a pen in a million years. But let's be fair. If the shoe's on the other foot, we're all taking that pen without even remotely trying to say, oh, no, we don't want a pen over here. No, we're too on it. Sod that. If that wins you the game, and to be fair, at 2-1, Alisson bailed them out constantly because Elise's chip, you're like, any other goalkeeper.
That save?
Yeah, do you get me? That's why they paid that money, though. So props to them for paying that money. And Coutinho's money, mate, they spend that so well.
Obviously, if you watched all me and Rich's fan cams, you'll see how much we praised Alisson. He's not even our player. That's how good of a game he had in that. in both
in
halves.
That second half. Well, in that second half, yeah.
He was insane.
But Rich, what we were saying was with Norwich, because the Liverpool game's kind of already, the dust has already settled, but I just wanted to quickly touch on it. I was saying with Norwich, this is the kind of game we're expecting to slap someone.
And it could go wrong.
With it being Palace, everybody could go 4-0 Palace, 5-0 Palace, 6-0 Palace. It's like, mate, we don't do cornings over here. The last time we corned someone was when we corned Leicester 5-0 at Selhurst. And even then, that was against 10 men. It wasn't like it was 11 men against 11 men. It was a red, and then it was just wipeout.
Listen, call me crazy, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm more nervous about tomorrow night than I am against Brentford.
100%. Because with Brentford, they've still got a fighting chance. But with Norwich, they're fighting for every point they can grab. And Carrow Road, even though Norwich are a very, very friendly club, grounds like that aren't the easiest to go to on a Wednesday night. Because I did Norwich away a few years ago, and mate, I regret it. I was like,
It's
where
gonna be
in the fuck am I going?
It's gonna be a hell of a drive tomorrow. I'll say that.
I did it on the train, and I was like, note to self, just fly to whatever airports in East Anglia from now on. Bun this, get in the train business, because I had to go halfway across London. It was just, oh no, can't do it. But don't get me wrong, I'm confident we'll get a result, because let's be fair, 11 to 11, we do have the better squad and the better playing style. But Dean Smith is a mastermind of getting points in games he probably shouldn't be getting.
Yeah.
And Vieira, see, this is where people need to realise, yes, Vieira's made us way more appealing to watch. But defensively, we're very naive. And that's something that we do have to address in the summer. Granted, this is not really fully Vieira's team. And it will take time to fully get Vieira's type players to fit Vieira's system. But that's my biggest pet peeve. It's like, if some of those draws we've had, with the exception of Seaweed away, so Newcastle at home, Leicester at home, Arsenal away, we could be talking about being in the top 6 at this point, maybe even top 4. Do you get me? But it's defensive mistakes in those games that have gifted those points to the other team. And you're thinking, okay, first season in, you got to take a little bit of, it takes time to get used to things. It's not just going to go, right, Vieira's walked in, waves the magic wand, we're just dead brilliant now. The whole Hodgson banter era is over and we're just amazing. That would be lovely, but it's not Palace. Palace don't do we're wicked all of a sudden. That would frighten the shit out of me. It's like, we're a good football team now. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't want to be winning 6-0 every week. I don't want it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like that it's unpredictable with Palace because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, I thought we were going to get battered by the Seaweed. We held our own. We took the lead in both games. This is like the first game we battered them. I was like, mate, how are we not winning this clearly? The second game, I'm like, mate, how are we not getting peppered?
It was a vice versa, like game.
Chalk and cheese, yeah.
You know, it was mad. Who's the Norwich player that Sargent? Apparently, he's a doubt, which would definitely help us because he's doing all right.
Oh yeah, we just picked him up like a couple of minutes ago, saying that he had a really good game.
Yeah, he put Watford in a spliff, big style. No, Ranieri was like, listen, just sack me now. I can't live with this embarrassment of losing to Norwich. And I don't blame Ranieri, bro, because it is what it is. This is where I'm like, Roy, I don't want you to get sacked, but you chose the sacking manager club, mate. Like, I know our fan base hounded Roy out. I'm not even remotely going to deny that. But we have to look at what Roy did for us in the 4 years he was here. Like, okay, it was dead the majority of the time, with the exception of the cup run in 18-19 where we got to the quarterfinals, ironically against Watford. It's like, mate, our season was over in January. No FA Cup, no League Cup, just cardboard football, just communion wafer football. It's like, oh, mate, don't stress me out like that. No wonder my hairline's going. But the thing is, with Norwich, like he was saying, Jordan was saying earlier, that Connor Wickham equaliser the last time we went to Carrow Road, I was thinking, we can't beat Norwich. Roy, what's going on? This is not a Norwich that have got world-class players. No, well, not world-class, but they've not got Premier League level players across their squad. A lot of that team was in the Championship the year before. We're struggling to beat Norwich. We had to call Connor Wickham up off the bench to get a point at Norwich. I'm like,
the glass man was actually fit.
Connor Wickham.
Yeah, that's
not Benteke. Not Batshuayi.
Benteke wouldn't have made the run.
Made the run. Mate, he wouldn't have made the bus, let alone anything else.
Which bus?
Any bus. Point is, though, is that you look at the last time we played them, it was a 1-1 draw at Carrow Road. You're like, don't be another 1-1 draw. For the love of God. I don't care if it goes in off Tim Krul's backside. I just want the win. If we play ugly and win, I don't care.
Yeah, tomorrow is one of those games where I generally do not care how we win the game.
Yeah.
Generally
Though I
don't care.
wouldn't mind a Ward-Prowse knuckleball from Husey if he could do it. That would be sweet. Like, because I hate Ward-Prowse so much. It's like, I like your free kicks, I can't lie, but mate, I can't wait to replace Southampton again. But with Norwich, we need to win. We win the next 2 games. That's
Yeah.
not guaranteed safety, but in essence, you're thinking, right, that should be as close to safety as we can get.
Yeah, and start looking forward.
Well, if we're talking about safety, our next couple games are Norwich, Brentford, Watford, Burnley, Chelsea, Wolves. Essentially, after those, we could be mathematically safe.
If we can get 10 points out of that, the first 4
So
of those.
10 points. I will probably say 8 points. I would say is good. Like what? 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss against Chelsea. Listen, that we're looking at. What are we on now? I think we're on 23 points. So on 24 points.
So we're
34 points. I think you'd be safe this year. Genuinely.
Yeah. Plus, we've got to
And
factor
also
in the FA Cup
after
as
that,
well.
and after that, we've in the rest of the season still got to play Watford again, still got to play Newcastle again, still got to play Southampton again. So you can still get more points in here. Leeds again. So there's still more points on the table.
45 points is achievable.
Well,
And we've still got to factor in that we've got Arsenal at home,
yeah,
City at home, United at home, and Chelsea at home.
Yeah.
Everton away. Leicester
I'm not
away.
really bothered with Everton away because Everton is always like, yeah, just get it over with, just whatever.
Yeah, but I we just went on a bit of a ramble, but I had one more thing to say about the Liverpool match, about the penalty. That anything that's similar to the Jota VG challenge, no matter what the ref says, they're going to stick with the ref's decision, even if it's a Stonewall pen, just to prove a point.
Yeah,
that's what I think will happen. Even if it's a Stonewall pen and the guy says no, and they go and review it, and he looks at it and he's like, "Oh, that's a pen." He's not going to change his mind just to prove a point, say that the referee has power over VAR.
Well, they have to because everybody's up in arms about it. Because you've seen in the FA Cup, Keller had a VAR incident with Liverpool. You're thinking, wait a minute, is this VAR coming? And then it wasn't given. Now, for me, it was one of those where I see why they're saying it, but grey area. But what's important now is that we don't let that Liverpool result affect us, because losing to Liverpool, there's no disrespect. Liverpool struggled in that second half. They weren't battering us in the slightest.
They were camped in their own half for the
You know what I'm saying?
whole half.
That high line, to be truthful, that high line played against them
massively.
Yeah,
and I like the fact that Vieira made that tactical change, because immediately we just started putting through balls in and long balls over the top.
That ball by Schlapp was underrated. That was a lovely ball.
Hey, Rich, you could have done with taking him and leaving Jordan here at Palace.
That's a very good point.
Well, I heard some IU slander when I was watching through that, so I had to turn off.
He was terrible.
but yeah, if we want to go through Rob's comment, I want to say all those games apart from Chelsea are winnable, but every time I say Palace will go on a winning run, we make a pig zero of it.
Yep.
Palace.
Chelsea's looking like draw FC a little bit lately, and they're struggling. They put a really strong team out against Plymouth, and it still took them a while to do the job.
They needed extra time, did they not?
Yeah, they went 1-0 down as well.
Yeah. And West Ham nearly bungled it as well. It was like, mate, what is going on? When I seen that, I was like, oh, fuck. I'm not confident anymore. So I was thinking, of all times for Premier League teams to shit the bed, it had to be when we were playing the League 2 team at home.
Should we move on to a combined 11?
I think this is the first time where I don't think a single Norwich player gets in.
No, Max Aarons gets in there, definitely.
Oh, yeah, fair play. Yeah, Max Aarons probably, in fairness.
All right.
That's about it.
Goalkeeper.
Butland or Guaita. I'm not having Tim Krul. As much as he was a bad goalkeeper back in the day, like he was fairly decent. Nowadays he's on Speroni setting, just hella old.
I'm going Butland. I think he's been on good form lately.
Yeah,
He has.
And you can't if something works, don't change it.
Yeah.
Centre backs.
Our centre backs.
No,
Yeah.
I don't even know who their centre backs are. So
the thing is, you could even chuck Kelly into that equation before Norwich centre backs.
Yeah, Kelly was solid.
no, you know what it is. Just to really bring it home, just chuck in Yaroslav. Yeah, for the banter.
Max Aaron's left back is probably Kai.
Yeah.
CM.
Well, the deepest.
Hughes.
Yeah, it's got to be number 12.
Gallagher.
And anyone.
You know what? I think you could play
Sargent.
Rashica at Cam.
Who's that?
No, I think Josh Sargent's more of a striker.
That person.
Rashhica.
This is a talking point here. Does Zaha walk into this team?
Nope.
Or does Eddie move to the left and Mateta stays through the middle?
I want to be Edouard. No, Zaha doesn't walk straight back in.
I don't think he walks back in.
Previous Palace teams, he does come straight back in, yes. Previous Palace teams, yes.
I think he starts tomorrow, but doesn't start against Brentford.
No, I don't think. I don't know. We could. I'm not ruling out the possibility. The French connection up top looks pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so all French front line, isn't it?
Yeah, French connection, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the defense is solid as well.
I wouldn't go that far now. That was just a bit of banter. No, seriously, put Joachim Andersen in there before I have an aneurysm.
You sure? That's my
yes.
guy right there.
I know it's your guy, but I'm not having an IKEA employee playing. Less of that.
Speaking of right backs,
you see, 1 second, Rich. You see how Expressions calls Davinson Sanchez the Colombian PS5. Jack's the Polish Nintendo 64.
All right, is that better, Nate?
Anything's better than Yak, so I'll take Martin Kelly because he had a solid game. He had a solid game, to be fair. But this is the disrespect. Why do people hate on Kelly? He's Mr. Dependable. I've never understood the Kelly hate.
He was solid, man.
I know that, but I was thinking, imagine people are hating on someone who's never, ever let us down. Weird.
That's a good point. That's a
Plus,
good point.
The next round of the Cup is his specialty. If you know, you know. Tottenham away, baby. That was so funny. It was like Martin Kelly.
Marked Harry Kane. We've got Kelly.
Martin Kelly.
Just don't think you understand.
He's marking Harry Kane. He just got at the lane. We've got Martin Kelly. That was just jokes that day. I had Arsenal fans even say, "We want you to win it now." It's like, no jinxing, please. No jinxing. Just shut up. Just shut up. Okay, enough. But yeah, I think that's a fairly solid. If Max Aarons joins us next season, we're gonna cook defensively.
Yeah,
Max Aarons or Jed Spence.
Both. Be greedy. Why not?
I'm worried Ferguson's. I think he's done.
Yeah, personally, I do as well. But there's a part of me that wants to see him come back and have a storm.
I really want him to make it through. But
well, we didn't pay too much money for him, so it's not like we paid like 15, 20 mil. So it's not really like for F's sake, he was a big money signing. It's like we paid relative peanuts for him. So it's a shame, but some players, they just, they're made of Weeabix. Johnny Parr, Johnny Williams, Daniel Sturridge, Nathan Ferguson. No. He's made of paper mache. Very big difference.
But I think with what you said, Rich, I think that the Spence, I think that just purely because he cooked Arsenal on his ones, Arsenal take him and they'll overpay for him as well. I think that I know we've been looking
But
at,
they've got Tomiyasu, so.
but isn't he more of a centre back? Even though they're playing him at right back, I'm pretty sure they bought him. His main position is centre back. If I'm not an Arsenal fan, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
And then we're spending 50 million on that pagan, and obviously Gabriel, who's their best centre back. I think it will be the wrong career move for him personally. So
I've just seen James has said put Whitworth in instead of Butland. James, you need to lay off the sherbet, mate.
But yeah, I know we've been scouting Max Aarons for a hot minute. I think it was before the first time they came back into the Prem, before they dipped down again.
Yeah.
So because we've been looking at him for a while, we looked at him at the same time when we was looking at Ferguson. I think the only issue I see with him is he's not very defensively sound.
He isn't. Because
he's
good on the ball, but not defensively sound.
But the thing is, modern fullbacks aren't really defensively sound. That's the issue we're going to have. Is that look at Trent.
If we are defensively naive, then we need someone who is defensively sound.
Yeah, but see, that's where you go looking for a complementary right back. Where, let's say, Aarons is more attacking, you try and counter that with a more defensive right back, so that when we need to play a little bit more defensively, i.e., the bigger boys, we can accommodate that. Yeah. When we need that extra presence on the wing to back up Elise, back up Edouard, back up Zaha, back up whoever, you play the attacking fullbacks. That's how you change from. Look at the Seaweed and Cucurella. They had Gaetan Bong and these men playing for them last season and the season before. You're like, are they smoking a bong? Who's this guy from? Where did they get this guy from? Now that they're bringing in younger players, that you're like, I hate to admit it, but that's a hell of a signing. It kills me to see a player like that play for them. But credit where it's due. They pulled off a masterstroke signing it. That's what we need to be looking at, is if we can get these younger players in and rotate between teams, we won't be worried. We'll be like, okay, we're playing the defensive team today. Cool. We're playing a team that we should be attacking. We've got an attacking team for that. That's the whole point of squad depth. We can't just go from just playing the same way with the same system and expect the same results. You've got to mix it up. Man City don't. I know.
About, let's say it's either Spence, Aarons, or you get Wan-Bissaka on loan for a year. Then what? I'm taking Aaron, man.
I'm taking 2 or 3 and covering my options in case you need a defensive right back and an attacking right back.
I was going to say, I think we need 2 anyway.
Yeah, because bear in mind, Kleiny's out of contract.
Kleiny's out, yeah.
Ferguson, effectively, Wardy's testimonial is the end of next season, so effectively, I don't think.
Yeah, he'll stay in.
No, to be fair though, with the journey he's been on with us, it'd be wrong to not give him his testimonial.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you know what I mean? Like, irregardless of what happens, like, he was there on the line, 120th minute in the playoff final, off the line. Nothing can change that. Even if Ward hasn't quite been the greatest right back ever, he was there at the start. He should be there to see. It's going to kill me to say goodbye to him because he's one of the last of that team. Like when Damo left, it killed me. Do you get me? So saying goodbye to that team, it's just because he's the last one. It's like, no, don't do this to me. I know Wilf was there as well, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Wilf was already a Man United player at that time. He was on loan with us, whereas Ward came up with us the following season. So, look, Jordan, if we could get Aaron next season on loan, love that.
100%.
But being selfish, I'd go for Spence and Aaron's because the budget would need to be there to shore up our defensive options. Because that's where our main area of focus needs to be, is a new goalkeeper and ideally a new right back. Because I think Teo is knocking on the door. Not that he's in the contention, but he's like, granted, you can't read too much into playing League 2 Hartlepool, but it says a lot that
he may overtake Hannon.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to say he's the next thing off the line. No. Careful. But the fact we've seen Jez and Teo make their debuts this season, now you see why we're not seeing them start every week and play every week. The slower we give them the chance, the more they integrate. That's the whole point. They're transitioning from 23s to senior. And you don't play every week in the senior team. That's the big difference. Like, Mason Mount wasn't playing week in, week out for Chelsea until he was at Derby, where he had to prove, can he step up to the main level of professional men's football? And he did that. If Teo goes out on loan, never know. But obviously, let's quickly touch on a few things to do with the club's image, because there's 3 things we need to give our club flowers for. And there's one that I went on a fair bit of a rant on earlier on. So let's start with the first one, and that's Luke Plancher's signing from Derby.
Yeah.
As a fan base that know all about administration, I was so happy to see that we'd done that for Derby. It was like, this is the football club we know and love. This is my football club. Because we didn't get that when we had to let Victor Moses be sold for $2.5 million.
Yeah.
So for us to not do to Derby what was done to us, that proves that we haven't forgotten what a journey we've been on.
We were, yeah.
And I'm watching Derby's games now more closely to see how he gets on.
Yeah.
You know, because now he's our player. We have to keep an eye on him. So I was really happy to see that. And to get him only for £1 million, that does a big deal for Derby, and that's a steal for us.
Yeah.
Dougie's done it again. People want to diss our sporting director, but he's done it again. Why do people hate on him? It's like, you do realise he got Eze and Elise for £24 million combined.
Listen, that Michael Elise, yeah. Oh my days, he's too good.
I can't believe my football club paid £8 million for this guy.
Yeah, I think I told you, Rich, the other day. Ducky's spent in the summer and in January with this whole rebuild that we've done. He spent 69 million, and that's still less than one Nicolas Pepe,
one Harry Maguire,
one Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk's probably a bit of a bad analogy, but you know what I'm trying to say, because he's sick. But you know what I mean? Like,
it's unbelievable.
Oh, what, half a Coutinho?
And yeah, like I said, fair play to the club for how they're supporting Derby. You know, wasn't a dick about it. Just said, all right, listen, here's $1 million. Keep him. We'll cover his loan fee as well.
And his wages.
Listen.
We know how that feels.
Yeah.
We've been there.
Just crack on.
We, you know, and you know what it is? I hope he helps them beat the drop.
Loan as well, isn't it? It's technically a free loan.
Yeah, pretty much. And they need that, because if we could have kept Victor Moses, I don't think we would have struggled that season, because Moses was on fire that 2009-10 season. But obviously, the administrator said, no, he's your most valuable asset. He has to go. If he doesn't go, the club folds. So, unfortunately, we didn't have that luxury. But the second piece...
Yes, Jay, hope you're good, bro.
Big up, Jay. But the second piece is the Hartlepool manager's wife's cancer fund. Now, when the club put it on their socials, I was immensely proud to see our club had donated. I thought, you know what? Again, this is the football club I know and love. This is the Palace I've always loved. But the reaction from our fan base to donate so quickly, astounding. And to that one Palace fan who donated £12,000, I suspect it was Mr. Texter. I can't confirm, but whoever did donate that amount of money, well done to you, because that meant the world to the Hartlepool manager and their family. That meant the world to Hartlepool United Football Club. Obviously, you saw Rich's fan cam with the Hartlepool fans. I think we may have adopted another football league club as a club to watch out for.
Yeah. 100%.
Because if Jeff Stelling didn't convince me before, this certainly has now. So absolutely big up to every Palace fan that donated. The 3 of us actually donated as well.
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of the club, because that really made me think, you know what? There's so much negative, there's so much crap in the football world. It's nice to know our club's doing so much. And another thing, subsidise the bus travel.
Yeah.
Cheap ticket prices. And all because the TV companies wanted to put an all Premier League cup tie instead of a League 2 versus Prem team. Now, don't get me wrong, it is the bigger draw and it will get more numbers on TV. It is logical. Yeah. But magic of the cup they bleat on about. What if Hartlepool had won? They'd look silly then, wouldn't they?
This is it.
You know what I'm saying? So
big up
all
to
I'm going to
you.
ask people is put the flowers in the chat for Palace, because you know what? Our football club, for the three things we just talked about, that's a round of applause.
Yeah.
But the next thing, yeah, the club's taking an L. But Rich,
yeah, and I was just going to say, based on the Hartlepool fan, like even when we were doing the cams out to the stadium, they were just coming out and just saying, like well done and stuff. And they were just so happy. You know what I mean? Like since then, I've even had like Hartlepool fans follow me, whether it's Twitter or if it's Instagram. Sam, you know, the young person that was very shy.
Yeah.
His dad found the channel page on Instagram and gave it a follow and left a message. You know what I mean? Just saying thank you so much and stuff. And it was just like, listen, thank you for even just wanting to just say something. Do you understand? Like,
and big up the fans were clapping us as we 100%. Were standing outside the stadium as well. They're all going by in the buses, just like this to us.
They were amazing, and like, you're right, Nate. Kind of just adopted a team. You know what I mean? Like,
and to be fair, and to be fair to Hartlepool, they sent a certain club from SE7 packing out the Football League trophy. So I was like, do you know what? That's a fourth to add to the list. Hartlepool, you've convinced me. If this didn't convince me, that did. Because stopping them going to Wembley, it's like, okay, I can get behind that now. But no, to be fair, look, donating to that woman's cancer fund, that just made me so happy, because we don't like that C word. Never mind the other C word. This C word, nobody likes that word. You know, I've lost family members to this word. I'm sure you guys have lost somebody you know to this word as well. Everybody's lost someone they know to this C word. So to see our football club and our fan base just say, sod football, sod the whole football rivalry and the rivals for 90 minutes. Nah. We all put money towards the pot. I'm so glad to hear that the target was smashed out the park. Not met, it was smashed. And you know what? I'm so happy for them.
10K over, didn't they?
Something like that, yeah.
I think they asked for 60. I think it ended up at like 72 or something like that last time I checked.
Yeah, that's our football club, gentlemen, and I'm so proud of this football club, because you know what? We may have come a long way from the days of not having much money and having to scrape by, but we haven't forgotten where we came from.
This is it.
No? But we now need to talk about a certain other thing that's come up lately on the club social media platform, and James has just alluded to it. Socios. Now, I'm all for the club trying to branch out to new ways of engaging with fans. I'm the first to say our social media admin has stepped up his game big time the last couple of years, but this cryptocurrency thing, I'm not with it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I think it's a disgrace. Because people are putting money in something that's not solid, not grounded, and frankly, could see them on the street.
Yeah.
And it's all for the sake of fan tokens that imply that you're a bigger fan than the next man or woman who's probably been going Palace longer than all three of us combined. I don't want it at my football club. I don't want it even at any football club, let alone my own. I don't want socios at this football club. You know why? Because our football club is about community. And our community is a South London community. We come from all different parts of London, all different parts of the world now. Our football club is not about, oh, you're a bigger fan than me because you're from Norwich, you're from Croydon, you're from Bromley. Don't care where you're from. If you're Palace, we all support the same team. We can hate each other. So many Palace fans I've blocked on Twitter. So many of them I've blocked. It's just, done at it. Locked off. God, goodbye. Good night. Some of them are trying to follow me on my other account. Yeah, I remember you. You're locked off. God, good night. Goodbye. Right? But that's the point. You fight with family, and Palace are a family club. So to see 100%. This parasitic, disgusting entity try to break into our club, nah, we don't want you here. And the board and the directors, get rid of it.
Immediately.
Pay the fine. I don't care what it is. Break the contract. Get it out of this football club. We don't want it. It's not who we are. It's not what we're about.
Yeah.
I've said my piece. You gentlemen, please have yours.
Me and JC spoke about this very briefly on Saturday, and JC made a very good point. One person's going to benefit from this.
Yep. So So I spend a lot of time doing cryptocurrencies myself. So it's sort of, I know I've had a look into it and I know exactly how it's going to work. Someone, a very rich person, is going to come in and buy 60% of the market, just over half. They're going to wait. Everyone, all the normal fans are going to come in, put £10 in, put £20 in, put £50 in, and see it going up a little bit and thinking, yeah. And then that one fan sees it going up a bit and thinks, let me put a load of money in. It's just going to keep going. They do that. Also, while all they're putting all their money in, the guy that bought 60%, their money's skyrocketing.
Mm-hmm.
They sell everything and it goes through the floor and the coin will be no more. So everyone else's money is all gone essentially. And that's what I feel is exactly what's going to happen. And Nate, as you said, this can cripple people financially. And for this even to be a possibility of happening and it being connected to our football club, it's not a good look.
Rich?
Yeah, so like, funny enough, I'm not even the most world versed to like cryptocurrency and stuff. If you ask me, I'll just be like, I don't know what you're talking about, mate, and stuff. But one thing I do know is
Rob hit it perfectly here.
I was just about to mention that. To me, it seems like a pyramid scheme. And like when a pyramid scheme was introduced to me once before, it's like, oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, sign up. It's amazing, you know, and then you bring this person in, and if they bring that person in, and stuff. And I thought to myself, okay, so when am I actually benefiting from this? And I never will. Effectively, never will, you know.
Yeah.
And you made a very good point, Nate. The issue I have with this, yes, we're in a social media era, but social media can be your best friend or your worst enemy. This gets banded around social media. Somebody, and it's through no fault of their own, is going to look at this, think about their current financial status, and think, I need to take a chance on this. And that chance could completely end them.
Yep.
It needs to go. It really needs to go. We're a family club. We're built on community. And that's how it should stay. It shouldn't rely on a token coin to help or support. We support one another as it is. Look what we've just done for the gaffer's wife. That's how we support each other.
We've donated money to a club about 5 hours away from us in the northeast of England. We have no affiliation with whatsoever.
Nothing, yeah.
And the reason why we did that is because we remember what it was like to be a club where your club's going through hard times. They've been through the dogs the last couple of years. The only reason that people know about Hartlepool is Jeff Stelling, who was at Selhurst Park on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I love Hartlepool because I've seen their fans. I'm thinking, do you know what? They remind me of us in the Championship days. We didn't know what to expect every season, but we were just happy to have Palace. That's how they feel about Hartlepool. They may never see the grace of the Premier League. As long as Hartlepool United's there, they don't care. If you'd offered me us being in the Championship,
Newcastle 2-1 up now.
Oh, own goal. Oh, there's been an own goal for both teams. Yeah. Oh, wow. 2 own goals in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Jamal Lascelles, 36 own goal. Mason Holgate, 37 own goal. And then Ryan Fraser, 56 just now.
Which now puts Burnley 13 points. Norwich 16. Watford now in the relegation zone with 16 as well. Newcastle.
I think it just got VAR'd out.
Oh, gutted. Sorry, Nate.
No. It's cool.
No, it stands. Okay,
cool. No, look.
Watford in the relegation zone.
You love to see it. No, look. It's just when I saw that was on the social media earlier today, I was like, we don't want it. We don't ask for it. And you've seen other Premier League clubs have got rid of it quickly because of fan backlash. I hope our club listens because we saw the banner the HF put out, I think, for West Ham, I think it was. Am I right in thinking it was the West Ham game? they mentioned Celsius, or was it Norwich?
I can't remember. When you're
I can't remember. I only remember the Newcastle one from this year.
No, but they said that Celsius parasites not welcome at our club. But obviously the HF are on the same vibe as a lot of the fan base, because there's Palace fans I actually have fallen out with that are agreeing with a lot of the things that a lot of people are saying on the timeline. Because if you look at Palace Twitter at the moment, it's very united in we don't want this, and the minority that's saying, "Oh, this is a good idea." It's like, you're a fool. By all means, go be a fool and do your thing, but mate, no, I wouldn't want this on any football club, be it Millwall, Charlton, Seaweed, none of them.
Look, as we're talking about it, that's what they've just posted.
You see what I'm saying? And look, I'm going to say it again. We don't want this. I'm not going to speak for both of you. I know you both have your own views, but me personally, I don't want this at the football club I support. Because I'm terrified that it's going to put somebody in the poorhouse. It's going to put somebody on the street. It's going to affect families' lives, people's lives. This is more than just, oh, this makes Rich a better fan than Nathan. Cool. If that's how people see it, cool. But what makes Rich a better fan than me is if Rich is going to games every week. I'd say, fair play, Rich. You got the opportunity to go. I can't hate you for that. If I was in London, I'd be going to as many games as I could. Yeah. But I'm not into this because Rich has got 2,000 tokens. I've got 600. That makes him a better fan. That's like comparing parish points. What? What? Like, oh, no, but you see what I'm saying is that it's effectively trying to make parish points. It's like a glorified version of parish points. I don't want it. And I know I've gone on a bit of a rant, but you know what it is? If you don't have rants about these sort of things, you're just going to protect your feelings and try to act like you're not cool with it. This is something that I don't think anybody truly wants.
And what is also good is, like, I'm glad you brought it up, Nate. It's like, these are things that are sorted to our club. And if we're going to hold a fan channel dedicated to the club we love, we have to talk about all areas of the club. You know, like you said in the voice, that we can't bury our heads in the sand, you know, and this could go to any sort of topic and stuff, you know. I know a couple of weeks ago, I think we briefly mentioned about that idiot Man United striker. You know, we'll have these discussions, you know, there's a public domain for it, and when the time's right, we talk about these things and stuff. So yeah,
but related. Yeah, but Rich, we never hid when we had that incident on the channel as well. You get?
Yeah.
Like, that was really dangerous waters for us to tread through, and the three of us all unanimously agreed. Now we have to speak on what happened 100%. Because I felt really, really ashamed. I was like, Nathan, I'm not proud of that stream. I'm really not. A lot of the things that were said, I know it never came out of any of our mouths, but our names are in here. People can see who we are, and it reflects negatively on us as a channel if we're not addressing things that are said in controversial circumstances. Now, by no means am I trying to say that we're all bad people or anything, and the person in we're referring to has apologized. We spoke to that person, and we understand maybe they got carried away with things. Doesn't justify what they said, because it was bang out of order. But for us, it was like, wait a minute, this is way too red hot to put on a channel, especially one where we're only starting to grow as it is. You know what I mean? So, but we all reached out to the fan in question. We apologized to them. They were nothing but cool about it. We would have understood had they run amok and caused all kinds of turmoil on the timeline. No, totally fine with it. I was like, I'm actually impressed and surprised, but I'm happy because that could have gone a whole lot more horrible. So, 100%. But the Socios thing, people, look, I'm just pissed off that our football club is being taken for a mug on something that could really hurt people that we're close to. Because there's Palace fans I know back home that if they got involved in this and they were homeless, I'd be devastated.
Yeah,
I don't want that for anyone. I've gotten to know Rich and JC. I've never met them personally just yet. But if this happened to them, I'd be heartbroken. I'd be thinking, lads, what the hell are you doing? I don't want this for anyone.
For anyone, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? No one. Even if you and me have had a physical fight in a pub, I don't want no one getting involved in this. Because this hurts families. This hurts people. This isn't just some random bod coming down Beckenham pissed out of his tree. This hurts people that have real lives and real jobs. Cryptocurrency, maybe it's the new thing. I don't know. But in football, That's something that we're all passionate about. That's our escape from our problems in reality. No. Come on. There's a time where you separate your problems and your football club. And cryptocurrency and your football club is a marriage made in hell. So that's all I've got to say on it. The mic's dropped. The floor is yours. I'm muting my mic actually, so I don't keep talking.
You said it all.
I think that to round it off, the Just Giving is at £82,854.
Phenomenal. That's our football club.
That's amazing.
That's just like what nearly everyone put in about 20 quid in. That was just filling up Sellers Park and everyone put in 20 quid in.
Yeah.
Like that's a proper achievement from everyone. And I think that us as a fan base, we need to pat ourselves on the back and remember that we've not lost where we've come from. And
absolutely,
obviously, like at half times, you still shout out people who's unfortunately lost their lives at half time, so they get their time at Selhurst Park again, even though unfortunately they're not here anymore.
Yeah. 100%.
But it's good,
and it just shows that there is still good in the world.
100%. And
on that note, Kurt Zuma's a pagan. What's wrong with him?
I was about to show this. I thought this was very funny.
Kurt Zuma is an idiot.
Apparently,
we don't hide.
Apparently, he's getting mad boos right now and just abuse from both fans.
No, you know what it is. To briefly speak on that, shout out to Nicky from West Ham Fan TV, because they're one of the biggest West Ham platforms on YouTube, and even he said, ban him. There was no talk of, oh, he's just a young man. He was like, no, listen, you've got kids, you've got responsibilities. Animals are not to be used as bloody footballs. What on earth was he thinking? I was disgusted. I was like, mate, seriously, after what we just seen with that fool, you're now trying to prove that footballers are just idiots with money.
Only one, Man United won.
Ooh.
47 played.
You scored.
Hey, big up Dan from Turf Moor House.
Jay Rodriguez is still alive.
And speaking of West Ham, 1-0 West Ham, Jared Bowen.
Even Uncle Roy can't save Watford.
Is it?
And Donny van der Beek has come on. He's got 30 minutes and not 2.
Oh, how many did Delhi start?
No.
No.
He still hasn't.
Andros Townsend still started though.
Yeah, but it's Andros. Don't worry. He's already got his world. He's in. He's just there for vibes now.
Okay, so Ali and Van der Beek both won now. I only play 3-4 like Christmas tree formation. Oh.
Yeah, 3-4-2-1. Why's Townsend on the left? He's not got a right foot.
He's left-footed.
Yeah, but he likes to run inside and shoot, though, doesn't he? Or maybe Lampard said allow that.
No, he took one look at that and said, "Yeah, no, you're going on the left, mate."
But yeah,
but you could argue it's easier to have a natural-sided player on their natural side. Because bear in mind, Wilf's right-footed, Townsend's left-footed. So when Townsend was on the left, Townsend on the right, Zaha on the left, you're like, this looks odd because Zaha's got to cut back inside to cross on his stronger foot, whereas Townsend can cross on his stronger foot from the left-hand side.
I'm sorry, but this is really funny. I'm looking at the stats, yeah, and you know how the Google Premier League thing, it gives you like a live win probability, yeah. Watford's win probability is 1%, and they're only 1-0 down.
But that's Uncle Roy, bruv. You know what it is with Uncle Roy,
2%,
mate?
It's 2%. Sorry, Roy.
Uncle Roy. Need I say more, bruv? It's Uncle Roy settings.
Uncle Roy, what a granddad Roy, bruv. He's
great granddad Roy.
Fossil settings out here.
Kentucky Fried Fossil.
100%.
Fossils.
Yeah, you know what? West Ham should not have played Zuma today. They should have banned him. Just yeah.
No, just you know what? Find him and leave him out of the
Started
squad.
as well, man. I think that's the worst thing about it.
Yeah, is that he started.
But see, the good thing about that is that you bear in mind, like us, West Ham are a working class club. Their fans will not. They're not going to ignore this. Come on, if that was one of our players, I'd say, don't play him again. Any of our players who do that, I said, don't play him again. Rip up his contract, dash him, let him go. But no, listen, I was disgusted by that. But you know what it is? I don't want to end on a sour note. Let's just be really happy that the last couple of weeks, our club has got immense praise in the media, on social media. We've even managed to secure a club in League Two to watch out for us, and we'll watch out for them. It's a crazy feeling because when you get in the Premier League long enough as we've been, you're like, are we really the same club back then? But look, like when I watched the documentary, I was like, I forgot that used to be Palace. Because I'm so used to us being a Premier League club now, I forgot that we used to be a Championship club. I haven't forgotten that we were in the Championship, but you know what I'm saying. I don't associate us as a Football League club anymore because we're so used to being in the Prem. So it's like, oh shit, we actually were in the Championship for about 8 years. I forgot. But look, I wouldn't change anything because look, the last week has proved to me my football club has changed with badge and colours and kits, but the one thing that's always there is that the club was founded by workers, for working class people. It's still run by people that have a care of the community, and as a community, we needed to step up and show love to people that, like us, don't have much but have something. We said, we've been in your position, we're here with you, and we delivered big time. And you know what? Derby County, I hope you stay up. Hartlepool United, I hope you go to Wembley. That's for Palace. Let's get past Stoke in the cup. Fuck the league. Let's just get this points in the league and go for the cup, mate.
100%.
Just so you know, lads, the last time we played Stoke in the cup, we made Wembley.
To the final.
Mm-hmm. And I think we played them at home as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we end, we'll do our last two bits that we normally do because we've already given our predictions for all the matches. Should we get a guest? Should get the chat to go through the guest or not?
Yeah, somebody who wants to jump in. Yes.
Yeah, why not?
I'll drop the link, and while we drop the link and wait for someone to come in, it could be anyone. We'll just. I think we'll do these quick. So. I don't think
that's our club. Next.
Yeah. United striker, West Ham centre back, done.
I was thinking,
same week.
Done.
And partly our football club for socios, partly.
No, that was done a while ago, though. That agreement, we already knew about that one.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like they're still trying to peddle it now, even though the backlash. But I know. Look, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. The former footballer and that fool of a centre back. Yeah, they're definitely holding the title this week.
They got Rob.
Yo,
what's up, guys? How we doing?
Let me use the men's. Be right back.
What's up, guys? Big up.
Yo, the one guy we needed to put all the all the stats in, it's gone.
In it.
Oh no.
Man's in Brazil linking that Botafogo link up.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say another Eagle of the week. You know how Botafogo won? When you watch the celebrations, the Botafogo fans, you see one guy in there wearing a red and blue stripy top.
Yeah, it stands out, doesn't it? Like you can spot them in the crowd. It's great. It's great to see.
Yo, look who's in the chat. What's going on, James?
Hey.
So, James, obviously you've heard our views on the socios, everything. I know, James, you've given your view, but what do we make of it? What do you, James, make of it?
It is what it is, isn't it? We have to get rid of it, obviously, but as I saw, I don't know who it was in chat, but yeah, it was Rob said the best thing we can do is just not invest in it, and so it goes.
Yeah.
Because if no one does it, then they have no reason to keep it about. So that's the best thing we can do currently as a club.
That's very true.
Yeah, and that, and just like letting the club know that it's not something we support and not something that we want to see at Palace. Like that is really all we can do.
Yeah.
But I don't think that will work because people that use cryptocurrency and just see money, they're gonna use it to make money. I think that there's still going to be a big enough market for it, unfortunately, which is why I don't think it will just die if no one invests. I think that it has to be shut down completely because it will still be out there even if no one's investing in it.
Yeah, you'll still get opportunists that want to try and cap out there for capital. But yeah, as you guys have heard, we were mentioning all the hard work in that the club's done lately with Hartlepool and everything else. What do you guys make of that?
Yeah, I was at the game on the weekends, and like we just go around. Got there like really early because I got the kickoff time wrong, so I was there about 2-3 hours early. So I just ended up just wandering around chatting. So, yeah, no, it was mad. I was rushing as well, like rushing because all the trains are fucked off and shit as well, and I don't know the buses around there properly. So I was rushing to get there.
Oh God!
Ran up to the stadium.
I'd have walked if the trains are fucked up and the buses. No, I'd have walked to centre. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, it was mad, and like couldn't get to Selhurst Station, so Norwich Junction. It was mad, and I got there, realised I was early. It was just like, what the fuck do I do now? But yeah, no, I just went and chatted to a bunch of Hartlepool fans, and they were really just really nice to see people come down and enjoy football.
Sorry, 1 second, Rob. Say that again, please, Rich.
3-1 Newcastle.
Oh my God.
More importantly, 3-1 Hartlepool as well.
What are you saying, bruv?
Oh, bro, Lampard's already finished. No way.
Oh, wait.
Man's getting put in a spliff.
It might have been disallowed.
Rich, have you got the little PowerPoint? So you can do the guest predictions.
Oh, sorry. Let me get that. I might just write it down for now.
He'll fill it in tomorrow when he's marking papers.
Yeah.
Proper teacher settings.
Nah, he'll do it before he marks the papers. That's a bad teacher, my guy.
Get himself in that marking mood.
Well, I do have PPA time tomorrow morning, so that is a perfect time to catch up.
Well, there you go.
Listen, the grind don't stop.
Something's a priority.
Yo, Tristan's coming in with that fire. If we can't beat Norwich, we don't deserve to be in the Premier League. I wouldn't go that far, mate, but I know what you're trying to say.
Norwich used to be good, remember? Back
when?
in
1986?
Not the early 90s when I wasn't born, but they still used to be good. It's not like it's not bad as Brentford. I'd say losing to Brentford's worse than losing to Norwich.
Yeah, but as any Arsenal fan will tell you, it's no good when you used to be good. Do you know what I mean?
That is true, yeah.
Careful, Rob. Them Arsenal fans come quick in the chat, you know.
Yeah, I like making fun of them. They get defensive too easily.
They move like Jaws in the ocean.
They definitely buy it.
Yeah, especially if you mention James MacArthur, boy. Oh boy.
It wasn't a foul.
That can cause murder.
It wasn't a foul. I stand by it. No, it was a foul.
They still want him in jail.
I don't worry. They won the game. They won the game in injury time. Don't worry about it. At least they celebrate like they had.
Just like Brighton, they win games 2-2.
Oh.
Oh, that's a swear.
You swore.
Language, young man. Language.
Look at our team on paper compared to us. Listen, it's a very
game's not played on paper, Tristan. That's the thing.
Yeah, trust me, it's not a FIFA simulation.
Ain't it?
I would say we're all expecting a win, but we all know that we are Crystal Palace and we can mess this up royally. When we expect to win, we do not win. When we don't expect to win, we might get something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much accurate.
Just how Palace works.
Yeah, remind you, the Man City, everybody bar Jordan was going negative result. Jordan was the only one that actually came through with a positive result. So bear in mind what JC just said is very true, because I was like, you know what? I don't mind holding corn, but I'm pissed I was wrong. I'm really pissed I was wrong. But but what he said is true. When we don't expect to win, it's like we won. Holy shit. When we expect to win, it's like, really? Really? Our hopes for you were low, but holy shit.
Steve has just dropped a banger in the group chat. You check that one out.
A banger or a clanger, because he's famous for dropping both.
I would say a banger from current situations.
Okay.
I'd say it's a Tom and Jerry clip, and take of that what you do.
Oh no!
Oh Lord! I was fearing it'd be some itchy and scratchy shit or something like that.
No.
Have you seen it, Rich?
You know, with Steve, he's got to let it breathe for a day. Like
He's already on it, bro. But I think he's just got like a library of stuff. Like, oh, this happened. Oh, that's got a cat in it. I'll use that video.
He's got to categorize. In the event of this happening, play this video. This video will self-destruct in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh shit!
All right. Should we get into the predictions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Unfortunately for you guests, you missed out on 3 of them since they're currently playing. It's gone back to 3-1 Newcastle.
I predict a 3-1 Newcastle win.
Kieran Trippier.
And you know what it is? You know what's funny? Our fan base wanted to meltdown when Frank Lampard rejected us. I'm not remotely disappointed he did.
I was happy.
I was happy as well when that happened.
And
I didn't.
Rich, JC, do you remember a certain Everton fan was gassed? Man was gassed. Talking about, Van der Beek chose the bigger club. Cool. But be careful, bruv.
We're going to pay him a visit.
But Van der Beek literally just chose that he wanted to play regularly because he doesn't even start for us. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's just his missus is pregnant, so I understand why he chose Everton. I'm not even mad. But it's like, you know what? If you're holding bench at Everton, Donny, something's wrong.
Cool. What we'll do, Rob and James, you'll take turns just predicting these games.
Cool.
All right, so Rob, you can start off with Man City, Brentford.
Who in Brentford?
Oh,
Man City.
Trippier scored a banger.
City.
Oh, City. Oh.
It's a free kick. Cheeky little free kick.
Like 3-1. Yeah.
3-1. James, Norwich, Palace.
I'm going to go a humble 3-0 Palace win again.
Man said humble. I like that. Kendrick Lamar settings.
Yeah.
We're going to be respectful of
it. Oh, God.
Let me just shout out, Raj said Popcorn Gang hit the light. Just watching the United game, but just wanted to stop by. You might as well stay with us, Brush. It's not looking
Trust me.
Nah, big up yourself, Brush. You know it's all love, mate.
Man United on Jay Rodriguez settings.
Again.
Alright, you know what it is? If that man concede to Charlie Taylor, they're done out here. Most washed left back in the league.
Mad. Rob, Spurs, Southampton.
Spurs are on a bit of a run at the moment, aren't they? 2-1 Spurs.
James, Villa, Leeds.
I'm going to go 2-0 Villa.
Rob, Paul, Leicester.
Yeah, comfortable Liverpool win. 3-0. Let's go with that.
And finally, Wolves, Arsenal. James.
1-0 Wolves.
Oh.
Sweet. Predictions are being done. I mean, let's see if we got any of them correct so far.
Guess predicted a 3-1 Newcastle win, by the way.
No, that don't count.
Right.
Subject to change.
To be fair, none of us said Newcastle will win, so that's
an L.
Can I say I did genuinely think Newcastle would win? I know it doesn't count.
Yeah,
for the
but mate,
prediction, but I did think it.
James, you need to be added to the EEF group chat first. Then you can put your predictions in before the games kick off. So
if it's in the Excel file before the game, you're right.
Excel file. Wicked, nice one, Rob. I love that.
Rob, that's funny. We all predicted that West Ham will win 2-0. It's currently just 1-0. And then with regards to Burnley Man United, Nate said 2-0 United. Jordan said 2-1 United, which is still a possibility. And I said a 1-1 draw, which I'm hoping it stays that way.
Of course, the one time I backed Man United, they muck it up. Why am I not shocked?
I'm not expecting Burnley to hold out, by the way.
I chatted the most noise dissing them, and they did well. Now I'm backing them, they're doing dead. Man, I should go back to cussing them and getting corn from Relis and them, and then they might actually do well again.
That is a shout. We might need to wrap this up. I need to go on the stream because he's live, CM's live. Just go check in on them, see how they're doing.
Right, so we briefly touched on Liverpool game. We spoke about Hartlepool and the fallout from that and the Norwich game. So the watch along possible, is it, Rich? That was mentioned.
I'm going to see how my schedule runs tomorrow. I'll probably do one. So if you don't want to jump on with that,
I won't be available for it because I'm working.
But it's open for people to jump on.
And I'm at the game, so
Yeah. So yeah, I'll see
I'll holler at Palace first, see if he can come link you or something.
Yeah. So the option is there, to be fair. And then I might actually probably just chat to Brighton fan in the GC. So that's
coming. Rich Cost. He meant Brentford, but man said the other B word, bro. Careful.
I said Brentford. Don't try and make me.
No, you didn't.
You said the seaweed.
You said the seaweed word,
You
mate.
said the seaweed.
you said next to wording.
Yes.
Hold on a sec. I'm going back on this thing and I'm going to rewind.
Clip it. 127.
1 second, I'm coming.
127. He's scared. Wait, I'll pull it up live. Watch this. Look at the speed. Where is it?
This is a VAR check right now.
Yeah.
Wait.
Watch along possible, is it, Rich?
No, listen, I've heard it. I've seen it. I've flopped.
So if you don't want to jump on with that,
I won't be available for it because I'm working.
So it's open for people to jump on.
And I'm at the game, so.
So yeah, I'll
holler at Jordan, you're muted.
I muted him.
You just put yourself in a split.
It's not even a team, it's a Brentford fan. Why that?
You just put yourself in a split, fam.
Come on, bro.
Own it, bro.
Like, share,
move that Stormzy and own it.
Like, share, subscribe later.
Yo, he said the word and dip, bruv.
Man had to cut, bruv. He was like, listen, he's got to own it like Stormzy.
Yo, this guy's depressed. I'm just looking at him in the back, bruv. Look at this guy, bruv. Oh man. Well, this is Eagle-Eyed Football with myself, Nate, and big up Rob, big up James. Big up yourself, Rich. He swore, so.
Rich is holding serious scorn tonight.
I actually went full British Airways i360 on the stream. Terrible.
You know what it is, JC. This is making the best bits of 2022.
Clip it. Norwich preview. This is Eagle-Eyed Football. We are out. Like, share, and
We're
subscribe.
out. We'll see you for the review. Big up yourself.
See you on the ballot.